From translation, TLB, the Living Bible. This 19th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Exodus 4-6. Exodus chapter 4, verses 1-31. But Moses protested, "Look, they will never believe me. They won't listen to a word I say, for they may ask, 'Why should we believe you? What sign will you give us to prove your authority?' And the Lord replied to Moses, 'What is that in your hand?' 'A shepherd's staff,' Moses answered. 'Throw it down on the ground,' the Lord told him. So Moses threw it down and it became a snake. Moses jumped back. Then the Lord told him, 'Reach out and grab it by the tail.' So Moses reached out and grabbed it, and it became a shepherd's staff again in his hand. This will prove to them that the Lord, the God of their ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has appeared to you." The Lord also said to Moses, "Now put your hand inside your cloak." So Moses put his hand into his cloak, and when he took it out again, his hand was white with leprosy, like snow. "Now put your hand back into your cloak," the Lord said. So Moses put his hand back in, and when he took it out, it was restored like the rest of his body. The Lord said, "If they refuse to believe you and are not convinced by the first miraculous sign, then they will believe you when you show them the second sign. And if they still won't believe you or be convinced by these two signs, then take some water from the Nile River and pour it onto the dry ground. When you do, the water from the Nile will turn into blood." But Moses protested again, "Look, I'm not a good speaker. I've never been able to express myself well, even though you spoke to me as a child, and I've always been slow and hesitant with words." The Lord asked him, "Who makes a person's mouth? Who decides whether people speak or do not speak, hear or do not hear, see or do not see? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, and I will be with you as you speak, and I will instruct you in what to say." But Moses again pleaded, "Lord, please send someone else." Then the Lord became angry with Moses. "All right," he said. "What about your brother Aaron the Levite? I know he speaks well. And look, he is on his way to meet you now. He will be delighted to see you. Talk to him and put the words in his mouth. I will be with both of you as you speak, and I will give you instructions that you and Aaron must follow, and he will be your spokesman to the people. And take along your shepherd's staff, for you will use it to perform the miraculous signs. So now go, I will be with you as you speak, and I will instruct you both in what to do. And you will be the one to speak to the people and tell them what I command you, and your brother Aaron will be your spokesman. But take this shepherd's staff with you, and use it to perform the miraculous signs I have shown you." So Moses left Midian and returned to Egypt. He took his wife and 2 sons with him, and he loaded them on a donkey to travel back. And the Lord had said to Moses in Midian, "Go back to Egypt, for all the men who wanted to kill you have died." So Moses took his wife and sons, put them on a donkey, and returned to Egypt. And Moses took the staff of God in his hand. And the Lord instructed Moses, "When you arrive back in Egypt, go to Pharaoh and perform all the miracles I have empowered you to do. But I will make his heart stubborn so that he will refuse to let the people go. Then you will tell him, 'This is what the Lord says, Israel is my firstborn son. I commanded you, let my son go, so he may worship me. But since you refused, I will kill your firstborn son.' As Moses and his family were on their way, they stopped for the night. And the Lord met him and tried to kill him. But Zipporah took a flint knife and circumcised her son. Then she touched his feet with the foreskin and said, 'Now you are a bridegroom of blood to me.' So the Lord let him live. Then she said, 'You are a bridegroom of blood because of this circumcision ceremony.' Now the Lord had said to Aaron, 'Go into the wilderness to meet Moses.' So Aaron traveled to Mount Sinai, where he found Moses. He embraced him and kissed him warmly. Moses then told Aaron everything the Lord had told him to say, and he performed the signs to prove it. Then Moses and Aaron went and gathered all the elders of Israel together, and Aaron told them everything the Lord had said to Moses. Then Moses performed the miraculous signs to prove it, and the people finally believed. And when they heard that the Lord was concerned about them and had seen their misery, they bowed down and worshipped. Exodus chapter 5, verses 1-23. After this, Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said to him, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Let my people go so they may hold a festival in my honor in the wilderness." "Who is this Lord? Why should I listen to him and let Israel go? I don't even know the Lord," Pharaoh sneered. Moses and Aaron replied, "The Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us. Now let us take a 3-day journey into the wilderness to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God. If we don't, he may strike us with plagues or attack us with swords." But the Egyptian slave drivers and the Israelite foremen had a different idea. "You're just lazy," they said. "A better idea would be to require the men to gather their own straw for making bricks, as they did before. But still make them produce the same number of bricks as before. Don't reduce their work." So Pharaoh the next day gave orders to the slave drivers and the foremen, "Don't provide any straw for the people to make bricks as before. Make them get it themselves, but still require them to make the same number of bricks as before. They are lazy. That's why they are crying out, let us go and offer sacrifices to our God. Load them down with more work. Make them work harder, then they will stop paying attention to these lies. So the slave drivers and the foremen went out and told the people, Pharaoh has given this order. I will not provide any more straw for you. Go and get your own straw wherever you can find it, and make the same number of bricks as before. Don't reduce the required amount. So the people scattered throughout Egypt to gather stubble instead of straw. The slave drivers kept pressing them. Meet your daily quota of bricks, just as you did when you had plenty of straw, they demanded. The Israelite foremen, whom Pharaoh's slave drivers had appointed, were beaten with the whip. Why haven't you met your required number of bricks yesterday or today, as you did before? They demanded. Then the Israelite foreman went to Pharaoh and cried out at him, Why are you treating your servants this way? No straw is given to your servants, and still they demand, Make bricks. We are being beaten by the slave drivers, and it is your own fault. Look at us. Pharaoh's slaves beat us and demand, Make bricks. But you haven't given your servants any straw. We can't make bricks without straw, and that is exactly what they are demanding. Then Pharaoh replied, Lazy. That's why you're saying, Let us go and offer sacrifices to the Lord. Now get back to work. No straw will be given to you, yet you must still produce your full quota of bricks. The Israelite foremen could see that they were in serious trouble when they were told, You must not reduce the daily quota of bricks. As they left Pharaoh's court, they confronted Moses and Aaron, who were waiting outside for them. The foreman said to them, May the Lord judge and punish you for making us stink before Pharaoh and his officials. You have put a sword into their hands, an excuse to kill us. Then Moses went back to the Lord and protested, Why have you brought all this trouble on your own people, Lord? Why did you send me? Ever since I came to Pharaoh as you commanded, he has been even more brutal to your people, and you have done nothing to rescue them. Exodus chapter 6, verses 1 to 30. But the Lord replied to Moses, Soon you will see what I will do to Pharaoh. I will force him to let the people go because of my mighty power, and because of my great demonstrations of judgment against the Egyptians. I am the Lord. I appeared to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob as God Almighty, but I did not reveal my name, the Lord, to them. And I established my covenant with them. I promised to give them the land of Canaan, where they were living as foreigners. I have heard their cries, and I have remembered my covenant. Therefore say to the people of Israel, I am the Lord. I will free you from your slavery, and will rescue you from the hard labor with which the Egyptians oppress you. I will make you my own people, and I will be your God. You will know that I am the Lord your God who rescues you from the hard labor with which the Egyptians oppress you. So tell the people of Israel, I am the Lord. I will bring you out from under the yoke of the Egyptians. I will free you from slavery, and I will redeem you with a powerful arm and with great acts of judgment. I will claim you as my own people, and I will be your God. And you will know that I am the Lord your God who has rescued you from the oppression of the Egyptians. I will give you the land I solemnly promised to give to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will give it to you as your very own possession. I am the Lord. So Moses told the people of Israel what the Lord had said, but they wouldn't listen anymore. They had become too discouraged by the brutality of their slavery. Then the Lord said to Moses, Go back to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and tell him to let the people of Israel leave his country. But Moses objected again. Look, Lord, he protested, I can't speak well enough. Why should Pharaoh listen to me, since I speak with such a slow and hesitant speech? But the Lord instructed both Moses and Aaron to go to Pharaoh and the Israelites, and to command the Israelites to leave the land of Egypt. These are the ancestors of the clans of Reuben. The descendants of Hanok were the Hanochite clan. The descendants of Palu were the Paluite clan. The descendants of Hezron were the Hezronite clan. The descendants of Carmi were the Carmite clan. These are the ancestors of the clans of Levi. The descendants of Gershon were the Gershonite clan. The descendants of Kohath were the Kohathite clan. The descendants of Merari were the Merarite clan. These are the ancestors of the clans of Kohath. The descendants of Amram were the Amramite clan. The descendants of Izhar were the Izharite clan. The descendants of Hebron were the Hebronite clan. The descendants of Uzziel were the Uzzielite clan. The sons of Kohath included Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. Amram's wife was Jochebed, a descendant of Levi, and she was born to Levi in Egypt. Amram's sons were Aaron and Moses, and their sister was Miriam. The sons of Gershon were Libni and Shimei, the ancestors of the Gershonite clans. The sons of Kohath were Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. Amram married his father's sister, Jochebed, and she gave birth to Aaron and Moses. Amram lived to be 137 years old. The sons of Izhar were Korah, Nepheg, and Zikri. The sons of Uzziel were Mishael, Elzaphan, and Sithri. Aaron married Elisheba, daughter of Amminadab and sister of Nahshon. She gave birth to Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. The sons of Korah were Asiah, Elkanah, and Abiasaph. They were the ancestors of the Korahite clans. Aaron's son Eleazar married one of Putiel's daughters, and she gave birth to Phinehas. So the ancestors of the clans of Eleazar included Phinehas. These are the descendants of Levi, listed according to their ancestral families. The descendants of Gershon were the Gershonite clan. The descendants of Kohath were the Kohathite clan. The descendants of Merari were the Merarite clan. Aaron had two sons, Nadab and Abihu, who died when they burned before the Lord the wrong kind of fire. But Aaron had two other sons, Eleazar and Ithamar. The Lord spoke to Moses at Mount Sinai, I am the Lord. Tell Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, everything I am saying to you. But Moses again protested to the Lord, look, I can't even speak well. How will Pharaoh listen to me?